person is asking how they should adjust baking times for convection oven versus conventional oven because they keep over baking things. Hey, I'm Baker Betty. I'm a baking educator, and this is a great question because the two types of ovens do function very differently. So it's important to understand what a convection oven actually is. It is an oven that has a fan in it that is circulating hot air around. Now, this tends to create very even heat distribution in your oven, but it's also going to bake things much faster, and you're also going to see that the crust is browning a lot quicker. You're going to see color a lot quicker on whatever it is you're baking. Now, I love convection ovens for things like roasting meat, roasting vegetables, or even getting a little extra color on the crust of whatever it is I'm baking at the very end of the baking process. But I don't love them for most baked goods. So if you do have the option of turning the convection fan off completely in your oven, I would prefer that, and I would suggest you do that and just use the conventional oven feature if you can. Now, some ovens you don't have this option, and we actually have an oven here at my brick and mortar that is a convection oven that we cannot turn the fan off. It's just low fan or high fan. So in this situation, you need to reduce the baking time and reduce the baking temperature. Because that hot air is circulating around, things are just going to bake so much quicker. So I say to reduce by about 25 degrees Fahrenheit. That's what most people suggest as well. It's going to be about 15 degrees Celsius for your baking temperature. And then for the baking time, most people will say reduce by about 25%. I find that tends to work pretty well. So say the recipe calls for a 12-minute bake time, maybe you're gonna do like a 9-minute bake time. You're just gonna reduce that time down. Because even with that reduced temperature, things are still going to bake a lot faster. Now you might be thinking, why wouldn't I want something to bake faster? Like, why can't I just leave it at the higher temperature and just let it bake faster? Because you are going to tend to have like a very brown crust before the inside is cooked. Also, it can tend to prevent things from spreading out enough. Like say you're baking chocolate chip cookies. It will set the crust really quickly with that hot circulating air, and it's not gonna let it spread out. And it can also set the crust too quickly on things like muffins, biscuits, breads. And when that crust sets super quickly, it doesn't have enough time to fully rise, and you're gonna get a much denser baked good. So reduce temperature, reduce time. Also, never just set a timer for the full amount of time and just ignore it until the timer goes off. Always set it for a few minutes earlier. Check your baked good at the very end of the baking process during the last few minutes. See if it needs a little more time. See if it needs to be taken out earlier. And I hope this helps. I also wanted to say this is what an air fryer is. An air fryer is a mini convection oven. It's why it works so well to crisp things up and to bake things super, super quickly. Convection oven is great for so many things. I just don't love it for baking, but it can work well if you reduce time and temperature. Okay, now bye.